overused or you're using it to bludgeon someone, not fun.
We don't allow profanity on the BBC World Service, but let's face it, sometimes a swear word can be terribly effective. Laura Linney, multiple Emmy Award-winning actor. Much of the world loves her in Ozark. For me, she's Kathy in The Big Sea, and on film I think she was brilliant in The Squid and the Whale and Mystic River. My guests in the studio today are filmmaker Maysoon Pachachi and cultural critic Hannah Flint. Hannah, swearing on film. Are there some directors who use it really well, in your opinion?
Obviously, Quentin Tarantino is like a really good version of it. And I think for me, I think I read somewhere. I love it. I read somewhere. I could have just make up any fact that I want because I said I read it somewhere. But I'm pretty sure I did, that actually people who swear more are more intelligent. So, I swear a lot.
Okay, great. Maysoon, what's the attitude to profanity within Arabic films and language?
That's usually sidestepped. I mean, now and again you get sort of not really harsh,
right,
swearing.
And so if you did have some profanity in the Arabic language in one of your films, would the censors want to nip that out?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's a certain amount of swearing, but it's kind of low-level swearing in my film, for example.
Yeah. Regarding the strike, has it in any way been advantageous for you, Maysoon? I'm just thinking of the fact that there are gaps in people's broadcasting, which they might have had some boring Hollywood type coming on to talk about a really average film, and now we get more of world cinema in front of us. Have you noticed that? You would always have a place on this show. I need to just say that. We are a global
boring
cinema
Hollywood actor.
Where do I begin? Where do I begin?
Well, I think, the film I made and the kinds of films are not in competition with those films that aren't getting shown, actually. Certainly, in 2020, it was really hard to get through to any distributors. Yeah. And that took a long time to get the distribution for this film set up. And it's like everybody was sitting on their hands and we don't know what we're going to do and we don't know where the money's coming from, and we liked your film but no thank you.
That's so surprising to me, because just because of what was going on at the time, the pandemic, there was a gaps, productions were stopped, things couldn't go out, so it felt like the perfect opportunity for independent cinema to come through.
Quite right.
But it's interesting what you're saying about actors not being able to do interviews. What you are seeing a lot is, would you like to speak to the hair and makeup stylist on this production?
Oh, yes, that's true.
Would you like to speak to the cinematographer? And I have to say, if I was a hair and makeup stylist, I'd be like, oh, so now I only get pulled out for this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Although, it's your opportunity to have the megaphone, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much. That's it for part one of the show, but don't go away. Still to come, Norwegian director Christopher Borgli, one of the most powerful women in Hollywood, Donna Langley, and I'll be talking to filmmaker Maysoon Pachachi about her film Our River, Our Sky. The Arts Hour's back after this.
This is the BBC World Service. What are we reading for this month's World Book Club?
I struggled with certain kind of classical cultural identity crisis. Who am I if I'm writing in the Anglophone language?
I'm speaking with Chinese-British author Xiaolu Guo about her 2007 novel, A Concise Chinese-English Dictionary for Lovers.
It was a strange novel for me to write, battling with narrative, but also basically battling with language, just to write a line.
It's a novel about language.
It's written in broken English.
Love.
This love so politicized and troubled by the linguistic difference and the cultural difference, that love is obscured.
And a sense of belonging.
A battle of two individuals in fighting for their own beliefs in the world.
An account of one woman's experience of Chinese and British culture as she moves to London to study English.
World Book Club, Saturday at 12 GMT.
Still to come on the Arts Hour with me, Nikki Beatty, one of the most powerful women in Hollywood, film executive Donna Langley.
It's really hard to imagine making a film and going through that process, which can take anything from a year to 3 years, without absolutely loving something.
Norwegian director Christopher Borgli discusses his film Sick of Myself, and director Maysoon Pachachi on her film Our River, Our Sky. All that and more coming up on the Arts Hour.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Israel's military says it's striking Hamas targets in all parts of the Gaza Strip, as well as Hezbollah in Lebanon. A spokesman said the army was engaging Hamas and destroying their infrastructure. The United States says it's optimistic the number of aid trucks entering Gaza will soon increase to around 100 a day. The White House says it's holding discussions with Israel about the possible creation of humanitarian corridors. Police in Bangladesh have fired tear gas and water cannon to disperse tens of thousands of clothing factory workers. Police said huge crowds had blocked roads and smashed up factories that produce clothes for major Western brands. Thousands of Afghans living in Pakistan have rushed to the borders just hours before a deadline for undocumented migrants to leave the country. The Pakistani authorities said they would arrest and deport all illegal migrants, most of them Afghans, from the 1st of November. King Charles and Queen Camilla have begun a 4-day state visit to Kenya, their first to one of Britain's former colonies. The visit coincides with celebrations of 60 years of independence for the East African nation. The British inquiry into the COVID pandemic is due to hear evidence from 2 close aides of the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson during the first months of the outbreak. Dominic Cummings was his chief advisor until November 2020 and has been a fierce critic ever since. France has arrested a Russian oligarch who's accused of tax fraud and evading international sanctions. The EU has described Alexei Kuzmichov as one of the most influential people in Russia with close links to President Putin. Firefighters in the Australian state of Queensland have managed to prevent a huge bushfire from engulfing a town. The state premier said water-bombing aircraft sent from neighbouring New South Wales had helped save the town of Wollongara. BBC News.
Welcome back to the Arts Hour on the BBC World Service.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. or you can visit our website www.worldlamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@worldlamp@gmail.com. World Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
The best radio show. The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Star Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
This is Starr Radio UK.
24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same till the end. Till the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why forever call you great.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 31st day of October, the year 2023. With the time now 10:43 from the hearts of London. And once again, let me say it this way: welcome to the show.
Love for you runs deep.
Let me say good morning to my colleagues, Miss Olayomi and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, who say to everything that is working smoothly this morning.
And that's what makes you
To Mr. Frank Davis, wherever you are, good morning to you. To my brother Felix, all the way in Benin, I salute you. Kojo D, Kojo, good morning to you as well. Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, good morning. Shamsuddin, good morning to you. Tassino, all the way in Moscow, I salute you. And I'm saying also good morning to my bishop himself, Bishop Adeshina, good morning to you. Anthony Adedeji, good morning. Aziz, good morning. My Rachel, hey, how are you? Good morning to you. Ahinba David, massive good morning to you. And to every one of you, let me put it this way, all protocol observed. And I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
So from now till 12:30, when the curtains are brought down for the end of the program, I'm going to be your captain, and we're going to be flying across the globe, bringing you everything that you need to know. But this is how the program is going to pan out. Well, I'm going to bring you the quotes for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. It's known as Global Trotting. Then we continue from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria with updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi. Fortunately, keeping fingers and everything crossed, we'll be seeing him live, on the broadcast, not as yesterday when we were hearing his voice only. And then after that, we'll go to other parts of the world, from other parts of Africa, and stretching out across the globe to bring you anything that is making the headlines. As I was saying, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, it's making the headlines. Rest assured, I'm going to touch on them. We then move on from there to have a look at how you can join in to share your take with us in the conversation that we're having this morning. So at 12 o'clock, the lines are open. Call 0208-133-2257. Yeah! And that is how it's going to be. Then at 12:30, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. However, remember that this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business. Okay, so buckle up and let's take this journey. Welcome once again, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
You make a dog afraid, and that's what makes you great.
Okay, so the quote for the day says the key to building a good relationship with anyone is finding out what they are interested in and starting there.
One who took my pain.
That's quite an interesting one. So you need to find out what is the person interested in. If they like dancing at Agbaja or Palogo, you need to be able to do so. And then you can use that interest to reach out to them. But it's not only pertaining to relationship wise, a relationship like a man and a woman or whatever. But if you want to relate to anybody, be able to communicate with them very well. I think you need that as well. Okay, let's crack on.
Holy, holy God.
Now, what has the weather God in store for us today? Let me tell you about that as well. And that tells us that, well, today we're going to be seeing that light rain, showers, and a gentle breeze in summary. So this afternoon we'll see sunny spells developing, though there may be a few isolated heavy showers. There will be a light southwesterly breeze as well. Tonight it will be cloudy with a band of heavy rain moving in from the southwest. Cloudy and windy later on with further heavy showery outbreaks of rain as well. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low. Sunset 16:36 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:52 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. And that takes me straight to the travel updates as well. And as I was saying, keep your eyes on the roads, as we keep it navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio travel update that comes your way every weekday from exactly 10:40. So on your travel this morning, those of you traveling on the major roads in London, A13, A316, and North Circular A406 have got serious delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to do so. On the underground good service running through DLR London Tram Link, landing overground good service there as well. And that brings us straight to the river bus. Apart from the Woolwich Ferry, that's got reduced service, good service running through. And then the London Cable Car is also running a good service there as well. And that brings us to the final segment of the travel update. That's the National Rail. But continue to keep your eyes on the roads as we keep it navigated. So on the National Rail this morning, cross country, First Transparent Express, London Northeastern Railway, Limo, Northern Rail, Scott Rail, and Thameslink have all got minor delays. Island Line has got special service, and Southwestern Railway has got a special service there as well. So check before you leave. However, if you're on the road this morning, then as we'll say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comment for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Greatly to be praised.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I said earlier on, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business, and it will be Black History Month. We know today is the last day where we're celebrating. October is the Black History Month, yes, and so we're going to bring you something on that front. However, wherever you might be this morning, just continue to stay tuned. Let me say good morning once again to my own, yes, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, a man of God. Thank you very much for your patronage. As I do say, you've been a bone behind us all this while, and we really, 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 really appreciate that. May God richly bless you. All right then, so now let's go global. Trotting, what is going on across the globe? Boy, oh boy, there is lots happening. But when it comes to Nigeria, where Mr. Olayomi will be joining in to bring you more the details about what is happening, please speak on Rivers crisis. Keep mum on attack on Governor Fubara. Will revoke license of underperforming discos gen course in Nigeria. Adelabu is saying. Let me say good morning once again to my Bishop Adeshina, and all the wonderful staff at the RBS office in Lagos. I salute you all and thank you very much. You've been a pillar behind us as well. Nigeria has lost a patriot, father figure, Obi Mons Professor Nwambueze. I hope I pronounce the name well. I'm not going away, says Atiko, as Tinubu's aide knocks gloomy submission on democracy. Now breaking, Tinubu to replace Chief of Staff Gbajamia Miller. President breaks silence. Why? How many months since he appointed him? Why is he going to replace him? Okay, and Fubara, Edward Clark reveals who Wiki plans to install as River Governor. We're talking about the fact that there's a scheme. Some are saying that, alluding that the Wiki is plotting to oust the River State Governor. So, what do you think about that? Supreme Court lists of senators, others who have dumped PDP after Atiko's loss. Okay, well, 26 pro Fubara River Assembly members suspend Speaker-elect Edison. Those are some of the stories making the rounds from Nigeria this morning. But wherever you are, it is Star Radio UK. We're still moving on. To look at some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. DRC faces risk of violence and crisis as election looms. That's what the ICG is saying. The ICG wants that a badly run election coupled with violence that excluded many citizens from voting could hinder the DRC's progress towards peace and democracy that we're talking about there. Well, South Africa president declares public holiday to celebrate Springbok win. Interestingly, there was a video that went viral. I know if I put it on the on our channel now, the regulators will say they blocked me. That I'm letting people know what is going on there. It's up to them. So yes, but I can talk about it in a Church of Pentecost assembly in South Africa, in Johannesburg, during the service time. And then they are armed robbers, but they were carrying arms, pistols. They came in there, robbed the church, members of the church there, from the pastor or the elder, presiding elder or whoever, and then actually have kidnapped one of the members. Is an elder, because they were asking of that elder. But the authorities in South Africa are saying that they are looking for this elder of the Church of Pentecost. But those are some of things happening on there. Okay, and then in other stories as well, calls for apology and acknowledgement. King Charles faces pressure over colonial legacy. He's in Kenya for his first visit to Africa as the King of England, right? Okay. Bishop Adeshina says Professor Emeritus Adibanji Akintoye
was awarded Grand Commander of the Order of Yoruba Land on Saturday in Yoruba Land Nation Office in Benin Republic. Oh my! Congratulations to our Professor Emeritus Adebanji Akintoye. Yeah, I mean, he's been a pillar. We'll be talking about that during the course of the presentation when I get Mr. Olayomi Koiki on. What are the plans now that Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho is in Germany? It looks like some people are thinking that I was around town and somebody was asking me. So that doesn't mean that the Yoruba people have now decided to just let sleeping dogs lie now that they've got Chief Dr. Sunday go out of Benin and what. And I said, no, I'm not sure, but I think more is going to be taking place there as well. But we'll tell you more about that as the program goes on. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. In Ghana as well, Bawumia was unaware of Edubuahin's reckless deals. That's what the office of the special prosecutor is saying. How true? You and I were not there. Were we? No, we weren't. That's how they say it in Ghana, you know. Well, but we know that the MPP are going for the is it the delegates? Is it a delegate? What do they call it? MPP poll. Delegates want a candidate who can win swing votes for MPP. That's what Ben Epson is saying. So Kennedy Japan won't leave MPP after November 4. Ben Epson is saying. Why should he? Rationalize hydro generation to benefit Ghanaians, not the export market. Kosika is saying. Now that we have lots of water, so how come that the Akusumu Dam is not producing enough electricity for the country? Okay. Bishop Adesina goes on and says, Chief Dr. Adeyemi Sunday, yes, Adeyemo, Commander of the Order of Yoruba Land. Okay, that was the award that he also had, and he was awarded as well. Oh, kudos. I'll play my music. Yes, I'll play that music for them at the end of the program. But it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other parts of the world as well. Okay, let me go to other parts of the world before I come to this part of the world. Israel reports large battles with Hamas in Gaza around ground fighting after Israel rejects calls for a ceasefire. It said it met missiles and machines gunfire overnight. Okay. And then in other stories as well, company found guilty over New Zealand volcano disaster. The judge criticizes Wakari management for astonishing failures after the death of 22 people. And US rejects Putin's claim over anti-Jewish airport mob. Hundreds stormed an airport in southern Russia on Sunday ahead of the arrival of a flight from Israel. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. And Sephora feared death. Sephora is feared dead in Australia shark attack. Some stories making the rounds there as well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Here in the UK, we had no serious COVID plan. Ex-top Boris Johnson aide tells inquiry. Oh boy. It seems that they want to throw Boris under the under the truck. Firms going bust on track for worst year since 2009. Insolvencies rise 10% from a year ago in 3 months to the end of September. Official figures show. And plans to close rail ticket offices has been scrapped. Transport Secretary Mark Harper says the proposal did not meet high threshold set by the government, so it's been scrapped. And then Elon Musk is to do a live interview with Rishi Sunak. The tech billionaire and British Prime Minister are due to broadcast a live conversation after the Global AI Summit. And Starmer to set out Gaza policy amid labor tensions. That's what's happening. But you want to know it? You got not to go anywhere, but just to stay with us, and we will bring you all that. Now, if you want to post your comments, feel free to do so. Lots of the discussions that we're going to be having this morning pertaining to what's happening in Nigeria. Yes, learn from Awolowo, APC chief tells Tinubu, and then Tinubu calls Atiku Abubakar anarchist, thief over comments on Supreme Court ruling. And then 6 trucks carrying solid minerals intercepted in Taraba. The drivers flee. And then many other self-determination personnel was awarded ranging were awarded ranging from media executive staff as officers and a lot more going to be coming away from there. As I did say earlier on, Professor Emeritus Akintoye was awarded. Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho was also awarded. We'll be telling you more about all that and what it means for the cause. And we say kudos to all of them. But now, let's enjoy some music and we'll have Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining us. This is from Shadrach Mensah Kwesi and it says, Aye.
Let's do it.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK.
He will sit upon the throne. Worthy of all praise, we say.
Good morning to Grace Oloshoto, and she says, good morning to you, my dear journalist, Olayomi Koiki there, the White Lion, last man standing, Yoruba Nation Movement, Mr. Frank Davids, Archie, all of Starr Radio UK, and everyone on board as well. I say good morning to you all, and welcome on board. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and invite them to like our pages, but continue to enjoy that music whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in.
This is Starr Starr Radio UK.
In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone, all around the world.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactement 6 minutes past the top of the hour. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Yeah. It's just an expression of your love to God. So I hope that you have enjoyed that tune there. But now it is my singular honor to welcome my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi from our North London studios, who have joined us this morning. And let me say, Yomi, massive good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world, and welcome once again to the end of the month, on the Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we prepare for the morning broadcast from Nigeria in the next few minutes.
Yes, how are you doing and how is the family?
Well, we're doing very well. The family is great, and like we always ask, the family can always be great when the other part of the world is great as well. But we give thanks and we can't complain.
We thank God for that. Okay, and we thank God for every one of you who has joined us today, wherever you might be. We salute you and we say thank you for coming on board, and we make sure that your journey with us today will be a lovely one. So now let's go on to what we're going to be looking at from Nigeria. But interestingly, there were some awards that was given out from the Yoruba land to a few of our people. And now, can you first of all talk about that of Professor Emeritus Akintoye and Chief Dr. Sunday Igboho and the others? Where and how was this program or this award program organized? How, is it the first time? A bit on the background to that.
Well, yes, you're quite right. Over the weekend, on Saturday in Benin Republic, few awards were given out to those involved in the quest to the right to the self-determination of the Yoruba movement. And as you earlier said, I've been listening to you. I know Bishop Adesina is right behind the screen there. The event took place in Benin Republic with so much activities, but the key point of it is to appreciate those that are working tirelessly when it comes to the movement itself. But I think what we got to understand is awards are given to appreciate work's being done, but we've got to realize that there's still a lot to be done when it comes to the Yoruba nation. That literally means that the job is not yet completed, but it is still almost halfway there. So yes, the exemplary award, was put together, by, those on the ground on the other side, Bishop Adesina and the central office, and quite a lot of other, individuals. People flew in from around the world. We had, delegate that flew from US and also from UK as well. But the other highlight of that event, is the Yoruba Nation Radio that is already it's already working on the shortwave. We know that with what we are doing for the campaigners, it's going to be very difficult to get a license for a proper radio to transmit the message of self-determination to our people back home. So what the plan now is that a radio station, a radio itself with a launch is still in the process. I believe it's got about another couple of more days, and that will be in the market, and that easily allow you to tune in directly to the shortwave, and it can also be used to the FM and the also has the touchlight. You can also charge it through the solar panel, the solar as well. So that, I think, is the most highlight of event on Saturday. And I come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, updates from Nigeria. With Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we will bring you everything that you need to know. But who received the awards on behalf of Professor Emeritus Akintoye and Dr. Sunday Igboho? We know that they are not in the country. So who received the reward?
Professor is in the country.
He's in the country. Okay, interesting.
Professor is still in Benin Republic. The award was received, himself. But when it comes to Chief Sunday Igboho's award, that was an award that would be received. That was received on his behalf, but that definitely will get to him in Germany as well.
Okay, interesting. Now, is it the first time that they've organized anything of the sort?
Well, yes. I mean, I think when we look at the last 3 years of the movement, this is like the most highlighted award that you can think of, that has been organized. There's also the Yoruba Day that is being put together as well. That is coming up on the 2nd of December right here in London. That has to do with not those are even support of the Yoruba nation. It's just a general outing that is coming up, in December for all the Yorubas that are living in the United Kingdom.
Okay, interesting. Now, a few people that I've been talking to, I mean, they are followers, those who follow us on the radio, and wherever we are, they are there, and some do ask questions. And they say, now, after Chief Sunday Igboho left Benin to Germany, after the Beninois government just set him free, what they are thinking that it looks like the fire has gone down. So then I said, no, I don't think the fire is gone down, but I know that we'll have a time, one of the days, maybe on the Niger Voices or something, we'll have Dr. Chitsande Igboho, where you'll be talking to, and then we'll be, telling them exactly what is happening. But can you tell them a bit of what is happening? Has the fire died down, or what?
Well, let's put it in the context of, the Scottish campaigners as well. You've got to look at it that the Scottish are asking for the same thing that the Yoruba people are asking for, and that literally means that it is not happening straight away. Those that says the fire has died down have to remember that when you don't want bloodshed and you want these in a diplomatic way, you would definitely also have to realize that a movement, will come with, the ups and downs. We've been in this movement, in the last 3 years, and that literally says a lot. But the fire hasn't died down. I think, strategy is still being put in place. There's a lot of work, behind the curtains that is not going to be in the public domain. But like I was saying yesterday, the Pakistan High Commissioner in Nigeria is asking for the right of the Kashmir, in an event that took place in Nigeria over the weekend on Friday last week. And you might wonder why, if we are getting such, a very high, important individual like that in Nigeria asking for the rightful, and this was coming up in the Nigerian newspaper, the Nigerian News Agency. The question then is, why as the movement being like a problem between the federal government. I mean, we don't know what the actual government today will say regarding the self-determination, but what we saw during the former president Muhammadu Buhari was that there was an attack on the Nnamdi Kanu's residence in 2017. That was when they were proscribed as terrorist organization. Eventually 2.5 or almost 6 years down the line, the Enugu court threw that out as well. So this time around, I think what the Yorubas are doing is, not because they have this individual that is in the presidential seat as the Yoruba, because he's not representing Yoruba, he's representing the Nigeria as a president. But I think, time will tell whether Bola Tinubu would have to accept that the Yoruba people are now ready to exit Nigeria as well.
But have the presidency of the APC government now, have they reacted in any way, shape, or form? Have there been any statement at all from their quarters pertaining to the Yoruba, the quest for a nation to be formed as Yoruba? Have they reacted to it at all?
Well, not literally, because there hasn't been any kind of engagement apart from the letter that has been sent. But the previous month back, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Campaign, Professor Banji Akintoye, actually said that delegation will be put together, in a visit to the presidency. But I'm sure that has to be something with an invitation. You can't just walk into, the presidency in Aso Rock. We have to wait for when that is going to happen. But apart from that, there is so much other engagement that is still, going on as we speak right now.
Okay, listeners, Star Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria with Miss Olayomi in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios. And let's move on to some of the other stories. But, Yomi, I don't know whether you've come by this story where it's talking about the fact that the chief of staff has been replaced. That Benjamin Alila has been replaced by Tinubu. Have you come by it?
Well, I think that is a false news.
Okay.
Because as at yesterday, I'm not sure if I've picked anything of such to this morning, but I'm going to be checking that now. But what I can confirm, as at yesterday, the president gave his assurance to his chief of staff. There's been a lot of different allegation, surrounding, the chief of staff. But during the meeting yesterday, the president gave assurance that he still has faith in what is called his chief of staff. And like you said, in as much as there's tension that mount in the villa, Tinubu supporter called for Gbajabiamila to be removed, but the president says he believes, and this is what the president actually says yesterday.
I've told everyone in this country that I can make mistakes, and I've had to hear them out and correct them. Perfection is that of God Almighty. I have absolute confidence on the integrity of my.
Sorry, we lost. Yeah.
All the all campaign of calumny and insinuations should stop. The buck stop here.
Well, the bus stop there. He also made a lot of, it seems that Aso Rock has been probably left open. So the president, was a little bit adamant that, we must not allow anyone to just walk into certain meetings. He also expects that his speech has to be ready ahead of time so that he can also look into it, and also something that he has to check through his chief of staff as well. So as you can tell, there's a new sheriff in town. It seems that probably maybe some individuals are getting carried away, and the president is now reminding them that he's still in charge, and that means that things has to be done accordingly in the proper way, not probably maybe when he was a governor in Lagos State.
Okay, let me congratulate Bishop Adesina as well. He was also made officer of the Order of Yoruba Land. Congratulations. Okay, now let's come to some of the other stories making the rounds. Well, why is the APC chief telling Tinubu to be like Awolowo?
Well, if you go back to the late saga Obafemi Awolowo, you will realize that during the regional government, Nigeria, as it was then, but the southwest part of Nigeria was progressing very fast, rapidly. We built, the Cocoa House. The Nigerian High Commission in London, was paid during the regional government. But it seems that the former national vice chairman of the All Progressive Party for the Northwest, Saliu Lukman, is now telling or urging the President Bola Tinubu to learn from the ideology and the political sagacity of the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo. According to Lukman, this should be done if Tinubu hopes to genuinely surmount the problems plaguing the country and his party. He also urged Nigerians to hold the president and the other serving political leaders accountable for their promises as well. The question then is, would this government be able to do such, even in the midst of, many of the Nigerians believe that the country needs to be restructured. Some believe that the country needs to be dismantled. Some things that the constitution needs to be brought down. Would Bola Tinubu, the president, be able to do as exactly what the Northwest vice chairman of the APC, Saliu Lukman, is saying? If he has to do that, then he might have to think about what the Ohanize, the Afenifere are saying. And what are they saying? Last week, the Igbo Apex Social Cultural Organization, Ohanize Indigbo Worldwide, and also joined by the Pan-Yoruba counterpart, Afenifere, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, and the Middle Belt Forum. And they're asking for one thing, and one thing is that the group is urging the President Bola Tinubu, led Nigerian government to rebuild the country, reinstate the federalism as enriched in the 1960-1963 Constitution. Would he be able to do such? Time will tell.
Well, only time will tell. Only time will tell, and we'll all be here to monitor that. But listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on to some other of the stories making the rounds there as well. And this time around, pertaining to Tinubu calling Atiku Abubakar an anarchist, a thief, over comments.
No, it's the other way around. Atiku.
Atiku. Okay. It's the other way around, right? It's a typo. It's a typo there. Atiku calling Tinubu an anarchist and a thief. Why is he saying that?
Well, yesterday we talked about, we reviewed back the Supreme Court, judgment, decision that, Tinubu remains the president. It seems that Atiku is still very bitter, if you want to put it that way. But maybe what Atiku believes is that, Tinubu, Tinubu calls Atiku Abubakar anarchist. Sorry, I'm the one mixing it up. Sorry, it's the other way around. Is the way around. It is not the way you actually said it was the right way. Okay. Remember that Atiku, we played the audio yesterday while we were live. Atiku, says, the Tinubu, a lot of things was said yesterday, but it seems that while ignoring his certificate forgery that was issued, raised by Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Tinubu called the opposition candidate hypocrite, says that Abubakar is one of the Africa worst kleptocrats. Also, he says that there is just demog and anarchies in the response to what the vice president was saying yesterday. This is an outburst over what is still taking place when it comes to the Supreme Court rejection of the new certificate forgery. Well, Atiku is 77. Will he be able to come back, in the next 4 years? He'll probably decide that later on, but for now, nobody knows what is going to happen. But as we say, politics is all about the white fire. This statement is coming from, Bayo Ononuga, one of the aide, reacting to the press conference on Monday to Atiku Abubakar.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, still bringing you all that you need to know. Aziz, good morning to you, Mr. Archie, my brother Koiki, and the rest of the Starr Radio team in London. We salute you, Aziz. I hope you are doing very, very well, and we are bringing everything else that you need to know. But interestingly, well, a truckload of what? And how come they managed to find it? And how come the drivers decide to just jet off like a flight? Yomi, tell us more.
Nigeria has a lot of mineral resources, and it seems that some of those are either being stolen without being well accounted for. As you said in that headline, I'm just trying to get that headline back. Bear with me there. I think we will. Okay, I got it right here. Yes, 6 trucks were all intercepted, in Taraba State. But it seems that just in time, the drivers fled. Are we saying that the 6 drivers or 1 driver? Let's go into the story. The trucks were moved to Jalingo, the state capital, from where they were intercepted after the drivers fled. According to the Taraba State government, in collaboration with the Nigerian army, have intercepted and confiscated 6 trucks carrying illegal mined fluoride and lithium. Remember that these are very, very important mineral resources that could generate a lot of income, for the government. But it seems that some individuals, either local or international, are trying to extract some of these, mineral resources, but doing so illegally. The current minister on that section is Dele Alake, and I'm sure, they'll probably be looking into how they can tackle some of these menaces as well. They said mineral resources were explored from Akwana community in Wukara local government area of the state, and were being taken to Port Harcourt and Enugu when the trucks carrying them were intercepted. Briefing the journalists shortly after the interception, the chairman of the Taraba Task Force Committee on Illegal Mining Deforestation, Jeremy Farasan, said the government won't relent despite the ban on illegal mining and deforestation. This has been going on for some time, and it's just one state. It happens depending on what mineral resources is being stolen. And I'll give you an example. Myself and Chief Sunday Gbowo paid a visit somewhere, in Oyo State, and you can imagine that those caught on the ground there, were working on behalf of one of the kings. We won't be able to mention the name of the king, for security reasons. But these are not Nigerian; these are foreigners extracting gold from the territory of what is known as the southwest of Nigeria. And the question then is, if all this is happening, how can we have development when certain element of individuals from any part of Nigeria believe that the mineral resources should not be extracted in a legal way, but in the other way, illegally? And that means that, between the local and international partners, there's a crime being committed on a daily basis in Nigeria.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. And let me read some of the comments that have come through. Bishop Adesina says the award was ranging over 1,000 people cut across the Yoruba in diaspora and homeland. And it goes on further to say Yoruba radio and TV was launched as well. And then our shortwave and FM, as Yomi did talk about. And Grace Olushito says exactly, it will be completed by God's grace. Our own focus and strong determination without delay, everything will be put in place. Freedom doesn't come free. It comes with high esteem and total focus. Okay, so put your comments, and I promise you one thing for sure, I'm gonna read that. But listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is the morning show and updates from Nigeria. Myself, Miss Olayomi, bringing you everything that you need to know. But Yomi, before I allow you to, go on with the other stories, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabo, says the federal government will not renew licenses or agreement for underperforming electricity distribution and generation companies in Nigeria. Now, the Nigerian electricity was privatized since 2013. But you've been there, during that period, you've been there a few times. Now, how did you see it after it was privatized? Did you see any, maybe there was a bit of a lift up and then maybe it plateaued or something? Did you see any differences in there?
Well, there hasn't been much difference. I think, during the Jonathan of the PDP regime, a lot of, individuals were sold, power that they can manage it. They don't even have, the expertise for it. Nigeria has been in darkness, prior, before I went off on 2 weeks break. I remember that, the power shortage continued to drop drastically. I think what this new administration is planning to do, is trying to see if some of the states that can be able to work with, foreigners or investors and have their own power supply. I think Lagos State is ready for that. River State might be ready as well. And that will probably lift a little bit of, some of the issues surrounding the power sector. The power sector has been, it's been a big, massive problem in Nigeria since 60s, and it seems that we've not been able to crack on to find a final solution to give Nigerians 24 hours constant electricity.
Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll go to Yomi for him to bring you the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, it seems that Nigerians have to now start thinking whether Boko Haram may wipe off Nigeria off the map. I mean, I'm not the one saying this. This is coming from, one of the governors, in Nigeria. And this headline says, Boko Haram may wipe Nigeria off the map. Zulum raises alarm about insurgency. The Boko Haram issue, is no longer an issue that, needs to be taken with a kid glove. It needs to be taken care as quickly as possible. I remember yesterday we talked about the president and the German chancellor, talking about partnership, dealing with the terrorism as well. We have to stop the younger ones from being recruited into Boko Haram and ISWAP. Otherwise, in the near future, the entire Nigeria will be wiped off the map. I'm sure many Nigerians will be waking up this morning reading this headline, and if you're not concerned, then you might have to start thinking, what could this mean? The Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, has raised the alarm that Boko Haram insurgency is threatening to consume the nation if the humanitarian crisis in the northeast is not contained. Last week, I was talking about 2,168 Boko Haram, terrorists that have now been allowed to go back into, the community after, what they call the DR, de-radicalization, reintegration program, which run for 6 months. Can we truly say that those that have committed such, big crime can eventually be brought back into the society? The question is what we are reading again as part of this headline. When I saw the headline yesterday, it's not new to me. The question is whether, Nigerians are really ready, to allow such to happen. Many countries around the world continue to advise their citizens against traveling to certain part of Nigeria. Professor Zulum says the continuous existence of the internal displaced person camps in local government areas of Borno State is what is known as a potential time bomb, and as they serve as a recruitment ground for the Boko Haram and the ISWAP. That is coming from Nigeria as one of the headlines this morning. As we move straight to the other headline, once again, this is exactly 11:33 on the Star Radio UK network. We are now 1 hour behind Nigeria. So if you're watching us from Nigeria, you're probably coming up to about 12:30, while we are still under 11:30. What are some of the other headlines? Police arrest 2 for allegedly robbing a skit maker. Troops killed wanted bandit 2 others in the Kebbi State. Yesterday we couldn't make it down to the Southwark Crown Court, in London, where the case for the former petroleum minister and the chairman of the OPEC, covering the hearing, involved Nigerian former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Dizaini Alison Madueke in United Kingdom, over bribery allegation, has now been adjourned to November 2025. Alison Madueke, the first female president of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, on trial for alleging accepting a 100,000 bribe and some other as well. According to the case that took place from the Westminster Magistrate Court, went into the Southern Crown Court, she was given a bail condition up to £70,000, and also with an electronic tag, not allowing her to leave home just after 11 p.m. Let's come back again to some of the headlines coming out of Nigeria, once again on the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. There's a particular individual known as Dr. Zaki Nek that went to Nigeria, and this has now generated a lot of controversy, a lot of conversation with his post on the X space. And what is the post all about? He went to Nigeria, but he actually said that he met with the Nigeria. He interaction with the Muslim Air Force, Nigeria Air Force at Abuja Airport. Many Nigerians are now asking again, are we an Islamic country? Not just that particular. He also took a picture with what is called interaction with Muslim immigration, the Nigerian immigration at Abuja Airport. These has now generated a lot of conversation on his X page with about 127,000 followers. The reason why he's visited Nigeria is because on the invitation from the Sultan of Sokoto, where he also says interaction with the head of state. I'm not sure Sultan of Sokoto is the head of state. Probably maybe he wasn't aware, or should we say that is the Sultan of Sokoto controlling Nigeria? Because if he's saying interaction with the head of state, Sultan Mohammed Sahid, Sultan of Sokoto, again, a lot of reaction is coming under that particular post. And let's read some of those comments quickly. The Sultan should outrightly condemn and disown this. This man has been sowing seed of discord. I hope the Sultan is not complicit. Also, we have a president, even though he doesn't have the mandate of the majority. Sultan is not the head of any state in Nigeria. This is actually looking deliberately and provocative as well. So you can tell that I'm not too sure why these posts has come up from this scholar, but again, many Nigerians are saying maybe the Muslim ticket, or are we saying the Islamization of Nigeria? I'll leave that to Nigerians, to talk around that, in the program. Yesterday was another drama as the Wike loyalists moved to impeach Fubara. Fubara is the current governor of Rivers State. There was fire at the assembly. There was impeachment. The governor was even shot by security operatives. And you might be asking why. The reason is because it seems that the loyalty between the governor and the former governor Wike, that is currently the FCT minister, doesn't seem to be working anymore. And that means that there was a lot happening right there. Moved by 24 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly to impeach Governor Similaya Fubara resulted in turbulence in the state yesterday as the governor's loyalists stormed the assembly complex in protest against the plot. This came after the bombing of the State House Assembly located along Moscow Road in Port Harcourt by suspected arsonists on Sunday. A section of the chamber was damaged and some property was destroyed. The question again is, what kind of politics do we practice, in Africa? And as many also have intervened, that the federal government of the President Bola Tinubu must now intervene quickly. The lawmakers who were believed to be loyal to the immediate past Rivers State governor wanted to remove, the current governor as well. As that happened, also the governor decided to take down all the local government chairman, also remove the chief judge, also sack his own chief of staff as well. He can no longer trust any of these. So you can tell that there is a lot drama in Nigeria most of the time. We take one more, then we go straight to the social media. History won't forget Syria loser Atiku for not placing Nigeria above personal interest. That is coming again as one of the headlines. Let's talk about immigration. In UK around October 16, there was these awareness to allow Nigerians that are living in UK to meet up in Manchester for a 5-day capture for those interested in having the Nigerian passport. But as usual, the one Nigerianness or the Nigeria not happen to you literally took place right here in London, Manchester. 200 people were meant to be captured on a daily basis, and that would lead to by 1,000 by Friday. But guess what? By the time the officer from the Nigerian High Commission came to that particular event to do the capturing, they came with just one biometric capture card, and that literally means that they were unable to meet the target. And the question is, if we're having this kind of problems in UK, in America, where the Nigerian embassies are around the world, then what can you think of when it comes to Nigeria itself. So this other headline says immigration service personnel demoralized, their poor remuneration not taking them home. According to the Controller General, the NIS boss lamented the glaring disparity in what is personnel received compared to other sister agencies. According to the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS has appealed to the Senate to approve improved conditions of service, competitive remuneration, regular promotion for service personnel. This is actually coming from the Acting Controller General of the NIS, Caroline Adepoju, appeal during an interactive meeting with the Senate committee. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio briefly, and then when we go back, we'll be talking about what is trending when it comes to the news from Nigeria this morning.
Well, listeners, updates from Nigeria with Ms. Olayomi Koike in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios. We'll come to the Wike and South River State issue, but let me read some of the comments that Grace has put on quickly. Now, Grace says that was why they didn't want Yoruba Nation to stay, but either they like it or not, Yoruba sovereign nation is there. It's their last option, and it a must for everyone. Okay, he says it's praise. Now, self-determination is not a crime. Example, what of if Boko Haram or unknown gunmen wipe off Nigeria? What will become of our own heritage, culture, and our people's lives? This is not a joke anymore. Then she goes on further to say, we must stand up now and fight for what rightfully belongs to us, which is our heritage, culture, and our people back home. We can't just leave Fulani to take over our heritage and make us homeless in exile. Now, she finally says the Sultan of Sokoto is the one controlling Nigeria, and this must stop. Enough of all this madness and let me use the word stupidity. Indigenous people of Yoruba, please, let's wake up, and we can save. Okay, we cannot be slave in our own heritage. That's what she said there. Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Now let's come to the River State and what is happening. Now, is Wike is the governor now? Is it from the same party as Wike or what?
Yeah, the both party, yes.
So they are all in the PDP.
Yeah, they're both in PDP.
So what
you've got to remember that is the same thing that Tinubu played during his period in Lagos State, and that's the reason why they call him, the Jagaban. He nominate and put whoever he wants in there. So it seems that this also played out, during the time that Wike was leaving. He actually also brought in someone that he thought would be loyal to him. Whatever must have happened between him and Fubara has now transpired on the street of Rivers State. Remember that Rivers State is quite one of the richest states as well, because of the crude oil in that particular state. Throughout Wike engagement during press briefing after the meeting with the president yesterday, he was on the phone throughout. He couldn't concentrate. It tells you that he wants to hold on to the FCT, yet he still wants to control whatever is going on that state called River State, where he was a former governor.
Now, they need to stop that madness. They really need to stop that, because he doesn't own River State. River State doesn't belong to him. He was just voted at the time to come and lead the people. And now that's what they do. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what we are seeing. But well, listeners, a sad one there. We hope that they find peace so that the people who live in that particular area will have the peace of mind to go about their duties. That is all. They are paying you. It's the citizens who are paying you. So you have to make sure that you serve them rather than being a lord over them. Well. Starr Radio UK. Yami, let's go to the social media.
Well, the social media has been going very when it comes to a Nigerian police officer that was unable to sing the Nigerian national anthem, and that has now turned to a lot of ringtone. Let's listen to it. Don't ask me to sing the Nigerian anthem. Like I said always, I am a proud Yoruba nationalist. I can sing the Yoruba anthem to you. I know the Nigerian anthem, but I don't think it's something I would love to sing anymore. Let's listen to what and how. Right in front of also the governor of Imo State. Sorry for that word. Well, you can tell that that has now gone. The video has gone viral on the social media. And let's quickly read what the comments are. Didn't she have the time to rehearse? Was she just picked randomly from the crowd? Someone says with a lot of laughing emoji, hunger now your mate, person we no eat well, fit sing national anthem. Time she would have used in learning the wordings, she did use it to do make up. Well, you can tell that Nigerians can come up with so much even in the midst of problems. And let's go straight to some of the other what is trending around Nigeria again this morning. Again, Zeki, Islamic preacher wanted by Indian counter-terrorism agency for violent money laundering, arrives in Nigeria on the Sultan of Sokoto invitation. A lot of reaction also on this particular man as well. This person says, who give him visa? Northern Nigeria is always their safe haven. Those who invited and welcomed Zaki will equally become the worst victim of his hate speech. History keeps repeating itself. So that is what is trending, and we look at what is trending again. There's a particular 2 young boys that were given a sponsorship or scholarship to Cyprus. Whatever happened, it seems that they say you can take someone you can take the horse to the river, but you cannot force the horse to drink out of the river. Well, I can confirm from the news coming right now that let me give you the background story first. These were 2 young Nigerians, working at an eatery somewhere in Lagos State. They were dancing. It seems that the owner of the eatery was not pleased, with whatever move of the Michael Jackson step that they were doing. They were eventually sacked. Nigerians reacted quickly, and a particular religious center got interested in their case. Took them out of Nigeria, and it has been one backfire or the other. They call out the man that brought them out of Nigeria for whatever reason, for abandoning them. I remember my wife keeps saying that, if they were taken out of Nigeria, they can also help themselves. But it seems now that they will have to help themselves, because Apia boys reportedly deported back to Nigeria from Cyprus. And that is the two-face of those 2 young Nigerians that were given opportunity to leave Nigeria, but it seems that maybe Nigeria is still their destiny, and they've literally returned back again to Nigeria. And as we always say on this program, may Nigeria never happen to you, even though the former governor of Lagos State, Fashola, will probably disagree with us. The question then we should ask is, what lesson can be learned from these 2 young Nigerians taken out of Nigeria? But it seems that for whatever reason, that opportunity has now been lost. Maybe Nigeria is still their home, and a lot of people are saying Apia boys go continue their happiness for Nigerian again. Maybe Nigeria needed them so that they can make Nigeria to be happy. I'm sure they'll probably become skit or content creator.
Well, who knows?
They've learned a lot from Cyprus in the last whatever year they were there, maybe 1 year. And I'm sure, like we say, when you live outside the country, you can still take back home whatever you learn and make use of it. So probably they will just have to adapt to, whatever they are finding themselves in, and then life will still continue.
Well, we hope that they do so. Listen, I Starr Radio UK. Bishop Adesina says Nigeria is dead and gone. Long time we have given up on Nigeria. And he goes on to say, the question is, did this police woman go to school at all? So he is asking about the police woman who is allegedly singing the national anthem, turning it upside down and smashing it. But he goes on further to say, I don't think so. So the way she was doing, the way she was, there were no words coming out. Okay, and Grace says, anything happening to Tinubu now was nemesis. They're just playing politics with citizens' lives. It's a great pity, and it brings, tears of sorrow, and whenever I remember all their actions towards humanity. But listeners, we want to say thank you very much for joining us. There's lots that we're going to say, but don't you worry, tomorrow once we are on, we're going to be bringing you all that. But for now, Yomi will have to take leave of us. But I've lined out a very lovely tune from Jeanette, and it says, I'll
just take 1-2 comments.
Yes,
from
go on.
Elijah Monsurat Adenikeron from Manchester says, the zoo country, indeed, a whole police officer is a shame. And Adekunle Olushesi said, my concern about the Islamic caller that visited Abuja is that we Yoruba should always go their page and use them as a window whenever a public figure visit or mention the country or any part of Nigeria. And that is the 2 comments I picked up from the other side here on those that are watching us and listening on almost all the platforms across the social media this morning.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK on Olayomi. Let me say congratulations to you. You received the award, and you didn't let me know. He received the award as well. Congratulations to you.
I thought we much appreciate those on the ground.
Yeah.
Working tirelessly as well.
Yeah, to every one of you who has been supporting the quest for a Yoruba nation, and who it's not because people just want that, but because you see that your people are being marginalized. Whatever they are doing is doing.
Like you said, I had the privilege to attend an event, over the weekend, and former councillors that have worked in the UK for the past 15 years. Lawyers that I met, within the Nigerian community, and they were quite, very grateful. As much as, they might not be able to come up and say they are in support of the right to self-determination. I remember one saying to me that, what we are asking for is not genocide, it is a quest, and that quest must be respected. So it seems that there's a lot of people out there that are also would like to be part of the project, but sometimes because of one reason or the other, or the nature of their job in UK, they've decided to a little bit quiet and watch behind the scene.
Okay. Bishop Adesina says Yomi's award was Officer of the Order of Yoruba Land. Congratulations to you and to every one of you who received the award. It may not be just a placard you are putting in your room, but may it actually put some vim in you and then continue the quest for your that geographical area to become a place of safety where people can go and progress in their lives and their works as well. Yomi, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful update.
Thank you so much, and join you again tomorrow, and bye for now.
Bye. Okay, listeners, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. We're going to take the tune from Janet, and it's to all of you all the award winners there, or who are awarded there, and to you who behind the scenes had to work and do other things supporting the quest for this fight. And we want to say enjoy it. It says Olayomi, enjoy it, and I'll be with you.
Told y'all.
ọ̀pọ̀ tó bàbá rẹ̀. Èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Mi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yóò. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ìlú tán lọ́rùn fẹ́ lọ lọ́rùn yọ. Èyí tó yàn ló tún ṣe lọ́gọ́. Bàbá fẹ́ wá, ó tún yọ wá. Wọ́n ṣe wá lọ́gọ́, ó tún wá fà lọ́gọ́ nísìnyí. Èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Mi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yóò. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ọlọ́run dìde, jọ̀wọ́ má ṣe wòran mọ́. Ìyà ìsọ̀kẹ́ kò pọ̀jù lórílẹ̀-èdè. Ṣé bí wọ́n ló gbé àwọn ebèrú dìjà? Bàbá mi dìde, jọ̀wọ́ jẹ́rìí ara rẹ̀. Èmi ò mọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yóò. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ fáráyé, èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́kọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ìbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ìtùnú sílẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí. Àní ọmọ aládé jẹun bí ọmọ olówó ayé ṣàpẹ́.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Ọmọ alágbẹ̀dọ̀ àìsàn náà rẹ̀. Òun yí pa wá bí ẹni pẹ̀rù. Wọ́n yí tún wọn tàbí ní ìtúṣu. Ọlọ́run kojú wọn lẹ̀ lásán yàn. Jẹ̀dí sí gbẹ̀mí àwọn aláìṣẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ máa pè é rírà.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Ọmọ alágbẹ̀dọ̀ àìsàn náà rẹ̀. Òun yí pa wá bí ẹni pẹ̀rù. Wọ́n yí tún wọn tàbí ní ìtúṣu. Ọlọ́run kojú wọn lẹ̀ lásán yàn. Jẹ̀dí sí gbẹ̀mí àwọn aláìṣẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ máa pè é rírà.
This is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say order, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and thank you very much to every one of you who join us on the updates as well. Grace, once again, let me say thank you. Say thanks so much, Mr. Archie, Frank Archie, okay, for the program. See you tomorrow by God's grace. Lots of love to you as well. Okay. Yeah, all right then, have a lovely day. Okay, so now let's move on straight to some of the other stories making the rounds. But that before, let me know the lines open. If you want to hop in, hop off, whatever you want to do, just post your comments on all the platforms that we are broadcasting on, or you know what to do, just quickly, as I will put it this way, just quickly, just dial in 0208-133-2257, 0208-133-2257, and then I promise you one thing for sure, that I will be there to hold your hands and listen to you wherever you might be. If you want to text, yes, you can text us at 0753-966-1744, 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle or X is X handle is at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. It's now 2 minutes past 12, the time, the morning show, the Tuesday edition, and as I did say this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we're bringing you BB Clement on BB Means Business, and she will be looking at Black History Month, so make a date with her. All right then, a quick social announcement, and then we continue with the program. Stay tuned, don't you go away. The family, friends, and loved ones of Apostle Maknyako and Mrs. Victoria Abina Bosumpima wishes to invite friends, loved ones, the Christian community to the celebration of life. This will take place on the 10th of November 2023. Church service will be held at the Elim Pentecostal Church, West Croydon, Stanley Road. The postcode is CR03QA. Interment will take place at the Croydon Cemetery, Mitcham Road, London. The postcode CR93AT. A reception will follow, and that is from 3 p.m. at the Imperial Banqueting Hall, 31 Imperial Way, Croydon. The postcode once again CR04RR. It will be followed on Sunday, the 12th of November 2023, 11 a.m. with Thanksgiving service at the Numa Christian Center. 87 Beddington Lane, Croydon, CR0 4TD. The dress code for the funeral celebration is going to be black, but as for the Thanksgiving, it's going to be black and white. All friends and sympathizers are cordially invited. For more information, please contact Evelyn 075 5463 8421. Kojo 073 7592 8737. Sheila 079 83 58 1818. Come and mourn with us as we celebrate the lives of the late Apostle Mark Nyakun and Mrs. Victoria Abena Bosumpima. See you all there, and God bless you.
See how they shine.
Start taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's go to other parts of the world as well. Let's see what is happening there. Okay, now let me say good morning, good afternoon to my bishop, Apostle Henry Bruce, on his return from no other place but the lovely city or country of Ghana, right? Good. Well, in other stories making the rounds this morning, the DRC faces risks of violence and crisis as election looms. ICG is saying the Democratic Republic of Congo faces the risk of descending into violence and national crisis as it approaches the December election, according to a report by International Crisis Group, the ICG. And the ICG has warned that a badly run election coupled with violence that excludes many citizens from voting could hinder the DRC's progress towards a more democratic future and economic stability. Now, while the last elections in 2018 marked a peaceful transition of power and President Felix Tshisekedi taking office, the ICG report published on October 30 notes deteriorating security in parts of the country and a failure of the mineral boom to improve people's lives. Now, however, Tshisekedi has bolstered his position by adding political heavyweights to his coalition. The report highlights challenges to smooth elections, including rising political tensions, logistical challenges, and transparency issues with the National Independent Electoral Commission. Additionally, fighting between government forces and insurgents in North Kivu and insecurity elsewhere pose risks. The enforcement and martial law in two eastern provinces, suppression of protests, and the potential for security forces to commit abuses during election campaigning are other concerns. The ICG also warns of clashes between party supporters, increased attacks by armed groups, and violent disputes at polling stations. The international community is called upon to encourage the government and opposition to find compromises on contentious issues and stand ready to mediate if election results are contested, particularly influential African powers in Kinshasa and Western actors. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. A place where we talk about minerals, it is loaded. It's one of the richest part of the world. Yet, the people are so poor, they cannot even see their nose from their faces. That's how poor they are. Boy. So come away from Starr Radio UK. And we say we have leaders. You ask yourself, are they there to milk us as colonial masters did? Or what are they there to do? Well, it's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The Kenya Human Rights Commission is leading the charge for acknowledgement of an official apology from the British government in a bid to shed light on historical injustices and colonial era atrocities. The KHRC submitted a comprehensive document to the British High Commission. Navinda Lamba, chairperson of the KHRC, emphasized that the dark past of British colonial rule in Kenya remains largely unaddressed. Now, Lamba called for King Charles to gain a deeper understanding of this history and recognize the need for an apology. He would like him now to come back and say, well, I have a much deeper understanding than I expected, and we are demanding an apology, Kenyan people, Lamba stated. Now, David Malombi, the executive director of the KHRC, criticized the statement of regret issued by the British High Commissioner. Malombi argued that a proper acknowledgement should include an apology, as it is a public acknowledgement and affirmation that wrongs were committed. He stressed that an apology provides the basis for addressing historical injustices appropriately. Now, I believe that they don't want to apologize in most of these cases, because they know that if they apologize, that means they are taking responsibility, and if they take responsibility, then reparation might have to follow. Now, King Charles III upcoming state visit to an African nation, his first since ascending to the throne, is being closely watched worldwide. It coincides with growing pressure on the UK and the royal family to re-examine the colonial history and publicly apologize for the role in the transatlantic slave trade. Beyond its historical and symbolic significance, the visit is an opportunity to strengthen modern relations between the UK and Kenya. This includes cooperation and counter-terrorism and trade valued at over £1.1 billion or $1.3 billion. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on straight to other parts of the continent as well and look at what is happening there. ECG loses 25 million Ghana cedis whenever it rains. That's what the managing director says. How? And what has been planned towards that? And then new Bank of Ghana complex. Mahama Yariga petitions OSP to probe the Bank of Ghana boss, deputies for corruption. Let's take the latter first. And the story says, Boko Central MP Mahama Yariga has formally petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate suspected corruption in the procurement process of the new Bank of Ghana headquarters in Accra. Mr. Yariga alleges that involvement of the bank's governor, the deputy governors, the board of directors, and the project contractor Gold Key Properties Limited in the suspected corruption activities. Mr. Yariga also questioned the substantial increase in project costs from USD, that is 1.21 million US dollars or 2.22 million, okay, from 1.21 to 2.22, okay, despite a relatively smaller increase in the scope of work. He emphasized that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has the authority to investigate such cases of suspected corruption, and he hopes for transparency in the utilization of public funds. I hereby make a formal complaint to your office to investigate what I believe to be a case of corruption in the procurement of a new headquarters building of the Bank of Ghana at Reach in Accra. The suspect in this case include the governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, the deputy governors of the Bank of Ghana, namely Dr. Ernest Addison, first deputy governor, Dr. Maxwell Opoku Afari, second deputy governor, Mrs. Elsie Ado Awazi. The members of the board of directors should also be investigated. The other suspect is the chief executive officer of Messrs. Gold Key Properties Limited, who are the contractors. The project consultant supervision, the work should also be investigated. Would that be done? will that be done? Well, as they said, you and I were not there. One other story from Ghana as well, and this time round from the ECG managing director. The managing director of the electricity company of Ghana, Samuel Dubik Mahama, has revealed the impact of weather conditions and seasonality on electricity sales and revenue. According to him, ECG loses about 25 million Ghana cedis whenever it rains in any part of the country, since consumption tends to decrease when the weather is cold. Mr. Mahama made this revelation while discussing the topic, the big power debate, the high cost of keeping the lights on. Before the rainy season set in, ECG was averaging between 40 to 50 million Ghana cedis a day. Now, any day that you see rain, note that we're down by 25 million, he told a presenter there. Noting that the country has been experiencing a rainy season for an extended period this year, Mr. Mahama said he becomes sad whenever he sees the we plan all year round with the same tariff. In certain parts of the world, the tariff is not flat. When it's cold, it varies from when it's hot, and when they find a way to balance it out, but we have a tariff that runs all year without considering the down periods. So clearly consumption will be less during these periods, and definitely revenue collected will not be adequate enough to cover the shortfalls. It is about how people live and how buildings are constructed. With most people, they are comfortable with just the fresh air. They are fine and they are not going to consume a lot because everybody is actually on the path of conservation. The managing director also discussed the operational challenges brought on by rainy weather. He divulged the rain hampers the collection of revenues as meter reading and other operational activities become difficult. However, he reassured that despite these challenges, ECG will eventually collect the old amounts from customers. The truth of the matter is, whatever is consumed, I will still collect it along the line. But the particular day that it has rained, I may be unable to collect monies owed me by customers. It's interesting, isn't it? All right, Starr Radio UK. Now, Canadian Japan wouldn't leave MPP is the final one that I want to bring across. It's being said by who? Ben Efson. Post-time managing editor of the Dispatch newspaper, Ben Efson, has stated that he doubts if Canadian Japan will leave the governing New Patriotic Party after the November 4 flag bearer race. That is this Saturday. Now, this comes on the back of November for flag bearer election for the governing New Patriotic Party. A survey conducted by Ben Efson also suggests that the Vice President Mahmoudou Bawumia will in the primaries will win the primaries come November 4. The pollster indicated that he believes that there will not be occasions to necessitate the same central lawmaker leaving the NPP. I think, in the quote, he said, if there is fairness, if there are cases of intimidation, I think that Ken will be on board. During his campaign, obviously, he has made those slogans that if there is a fairness, there will be no problem. I doubt if there will be an attempt to try and marginalize any of his supporters or threaten any of his supporters. Well, so he's saying that if it goes that way, then the tendency that he will accept his fate, if even he loses, is great, and therefore wouldn't leave. Right? Wow. Donald Samosori is making the rounds there. Now moving on straight to other parts of the world as well. Now, U.S. has rejected Putin's claim that West organized anti-Jewish airport mob. The U.S. has dismissed absurd claims by Russia that anti-Israel riot at a Dagestan airport on Sunday was organized by Ukraine and the West. In a televised meeting on Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the incident had been part of an attempt to spread chaos in Russia. Really? Hundreds stormed the Makakala airport ahead of the arrival of a flight from Tel Aviv, Israel. Now, many waved Palestinian flags and chanted anti-Semitic slogans. Dagestan, a constituent republic of Russia, has a majority Muslim population, and the incident is thought to have been sparked by anger over the conflict in Gaza. Now, security forces eventually brought the situation under control, and more than 60 people have since been arrested, according to a local authority. The events in Makakala last night were instigated through social networks, not least from Ukraine, by the hands of agents of Western Special Services, Mr. Putin told a meeting of Russian Security Council, who is organizing the deadly chaos and who benefits from it today. In my opinion, has already become obvious. It is the current ruling elites of the US and their satellites who are the main beneficiaries of world instability. Really? Okay, that's quite an interesting one. I seem not to actually get the stance of Russia when it comes to this. When they come up with some other stuff, I do accept it, but this, well, Paris police shot a woman at the station after threats. Is a story making the round. French counter-terrorism police have shot an unarmed woman reportedly threatening passers-by in Paris. A police source said they intervened at the Bibliothèque François Mitterrand train station on Tuesday. The woman, who was wearing a full veil, reportedly threatened to blow herself up. Now, when she refused to comply with the police orders, they opened fire 8 times, the source said. The woman was reportedly heard shouting, "Allahu Akbar," or "God is great." Now, police feared for their safety, the source added. She is said to be critical but stable after being shot in the abdomen. Now, government spokesman Olivia Veran said the woman already had a conviction for threatening military personnel participation in Operation Sentinel, the military operation to protect sensitive sites in France from terror attacks. The officers who shot her were wearing body cams, Mr. Veran added. 2 investigations have been launched by the authorities, one regarding the woman's action and the other to determine whether the use of firearms by police was justified. Well, this all come your way. We live in uncharted territory now, you know. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We've got about another 7 minutes to bring the program to a close. Okay, moving on straight to let me bring you this one because it's one of the headlines that we cannot do away with. Now, Israel says there were large exchanges with Hamas in Gaza overnight as its ground offensive continues. The IDF says its forces were attacked by terrorists with anti-tank missiles and machine gun fire. Airstrikes on the Gaza strips also continued overnight. Israel says more than 300 targets were hit in total. Now, Israel says it's focusing on northern Gaza but continues to strike all parts of the strip. Hamas says it's ambushed 3 Israeli vehicles with anti-tank missiles and attacked ground troops with shells in southern Gaza. On Monday night, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected calls for a ceasefire in Gaza, saying this is a time for war. Now, the question is, why is Netanyahu bent on going on and on and on and on, while others are calling for a ceasefire, whether a humanitarian one or ending whatever is going on totally, a temporary ceasefire or a ceasefire totally? Is it because he's scared that, well, you know, before this thing started, he was about to be facing some legal tussles, and is that what he's trying to avoid, and by doing all this? But well, listeners, it's quite an interesting one. We don't know, but we're talking about humanitarian, the citizens' innocent lives that is being lost on both sides. Okay, so let's move on. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A couple of stories, and then we will move on from there. Now, this story talks about firms going bust on tracks for worst year since 2009. The number of companies going bust this year is on track to be the highest since the depths of financial crisis in 2009. Insolvencies rose 10% from a year ago in 3 months to the end of September. The latest official figures for England and Wales show there has been also a sharp rise in the number of firms at risk of going bust. Now, firms in critical financial distress jumped 25% in the last 3 months. Insolvency experts Big B's trainer says they are defined as having county court judgment exceeding 5,000 against them, often a precursor to going under. Now, Dean Eden, a wine merchant from Cardiff, also has already wound up his business. I thought COVID would be the toughest time, but actually the harder times came after, he said. So he's winding down. So we have lots of companies that are all actually winding down because of what is happening at the moment. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Boris Johnson's former director of communications, Lee Kane, tells the COVID inquiry the government had a strategy but lacked a plan for a pandemic like COVID. Now, Kane, one of Johnson's closest and longest serving aides, says the pandemic was a wrong crisis for Johnson's skill set, as he describes dither and delay. Now, Kane resigned in November 2020 amid anger of the government handling of the pandemic. Dominic Cummings is also giving evidence later. Now, 3 years after leaving number 10 as Johnson's top advisor, the inquiry is shown as WhatsApp messages from Cummings to Kane in early March 2020, where he says the Prime Minister doesn't think COVID is a big deal. He thinks it's be like swine flu. Now, Cummings was the okay, wow, this thing eluded me. Okay, now this second phase of the COVID inquiry is looking at political governance. No one will be found guilty or innocent. The purpose is to learn lessons. We'll be bringing you more about all that as the updates unfold. But listeners, this is what I have to bring the program to a close for today. As I did say, tomorrow, God willing, we'll be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. But this afternoon, exactly in the next hour, yes, BB Clement will be coming your way with BB Means Business. And today, we're having a look at celebrating the last bit of Black History Month, because today is the 31st of October, and that means we are tilting towards the end. Not tilting, we are at the end of the month. Tomorrow will be the 1st of November. So what do you think about all that? Let me say thank you very much for tuning in, for the numerous people who are still on the all the platforms watching, listening, enjoying the program. Thank you very much. And until I come your way live with another program tomorrow, it's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. But enjoy this song from Kofi Boham. He says, broken pencil, so right. So don't give up, don't give in. There is something in you. Though you are broken, there is something within you that can still write. That lead is still there. So use it, and you can create something out of the mess that you find yourself in. Have a lovely day. And as we say on this platform, may Nigeria not happen to you. It's with me, your one and only Archie. And I say bye-bye for now. Enjoy the music.
Alright. This is a letter to the broken.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
In your life that have wreaked heavy carnage.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
I know you think that your dreams and everything that you hope for seem to delay. Looks like your problems don't seem to go nowhere. Just take a deep breath. People talk about you, it's got you feeling down and really stressed. Don't tell me you don't know the trouble that I've been going through. You self don't know, see the same thing they go through. Me self, I they go through too. Who told you the lie? When you fall, it's the end of your life. I heard a whisper from above. I pray it opens up your eyes. Broken pencil still write, so keep on writing. And fallen soldiers still rise, so keep on fighting. One day you'll lift up your eyes to the skies and your light will be shining. One day you will win. One day broken pencil still writes, so keep on writing. And fallen soldiers still rise, so keep on fighting. One day you'll lift up your eyes to the skies and your light will be shining. One day you will win, yeah. One day you will win. Now snap on it. News around this life is not fair. Greed is all we see. You gave your heart to the wrong folk, they broke it, and now you put it on free. Fake life on Instagram and Snapchat, but you're feeling hungry.